The Green Children of Woolpit. Location: Woolpit, Suffolk, England. Time: 12th century. Page 1. A village like no other. Woolpit was peaceful, a place where peasants tilled the soil, children chased chickens through muddy streets, and the church bells marked time with solemn regularity. But everything changed one afternoon, under the golden haze of harvest season, when something unexplainable happened. Something that would ripple through time and transform Woolpit into a name whispered in wonder. Page 2. The Discovery. It began when villagers, working in the fields, heard frightened cries coming from near one of the ancient wolf pits. Upon investigation, they found two children standing at the edge of the hole, one boy and one girl. They were barefoot, trembling, and clothed in unfamiliar garments of strange texture and colors that no one had seen before. But what shocked the villagers most was their skin. It was green, not pale or sickly, but a vibrant leafy green like the underside of a spring leaf. Their eyes were large and dark, their hair tangled and dark brown. They looked terrified and confused, speaking in a language no one understood. Page 3. Fear and Fascination. The boy, however, remained frail and sickly. Within weeks, he died, his body never adapting, his spirit seemingly unable to survive outside of the place they had come from. Page 4. The Girl Speaks. The girl, on the other hand, thrived. As time passed, she lost the greenish hue of her skin and began to speak the language of the villagers. She was baptized, adopted by a local family, and eventually took the name Agnes. When asked where she and her brother had come from, she gave a story that was stranger than any tale the villagers had ever heard. Page 5. A Place Without Sunlight. She spoke of a land far beneath the earth, a place in perpetual twilight where the sun never shone. Everything there was dim, the light a greenish glow, like dusk, filtered through thick leaves. The people lived underground and did not know of the surface world. She said they had been tending their father's flocks one day when they followed the animals into a cavern. As they walked, they heard a sound, like bells, and were drawn toward it, eventually emerging through a narrow tunnel into blinding sunlight, into Woolpit. They tried to go back, but the entrance had vanished. Page 6. Theories and Whispers. The tale spread across the country, and as the years passed, so did the theories. Some believed the children had wandered from a nearby Flemish settlement and had spoken a dialect no one in Woolpit understood. Their green skin, skeptics claimed, was the result of malnutrition from a diet of beans. Others believed they had come from the land of St. Martin, which Agnes had mentioned, a mythical realm where St. Martin was worshipped instead of Christ, and where twilight reigned. Then there were those who whispered darker things, that the children were changeling fae, left behind by the fairies when their real human forms had been taken. Page 7. A Life Half-Lived. Agnes grew into a young woman. She was described as intelligent and graceful, though always distant, as if part of her lived in another world. She eventually married a man from nearby King's Lynn, but she was never truly at home among mortals. She often wandered into the woods alone, sometimes for hours. People said she still searched for the cavern, the hidden path that had brought her to the surface. When she passed away, old and quiet, she left no children behind, only a legacy. Page 8. Echoes of Green. The story of the green children of Woolpit became legend. Pilgrims, monks, and scholars wrote of them. Chroniclers like Ralph of Coggeshall and William of Newburgh recorded the events just decades after they occurred, giving the tale a rare blend of myth and documented history. Could the green glow of their homeland have been sunlight filtered through a different kind of sky? Could the children have been survivors of a hidden civilization, or even travelers from another dimension?